and I'm late to the start of the stream. My own funeral. So I was trying to get further, which is why I'm late to the start of it, because I was trying to get to a later part of where I want to focus the practicing, right? But good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I wasn't gonna play Geometry Dash today, but I actually had like a very chill day at work. It wasn't too hot, and so I felt fine. Look, I'm a cook, and they make TV shows about cooks being angry for a reason. But it was a solid little day. Bit slow, but you know, just enough work to make me feel like I had stuff to do. And so why not come back and add to my suffering? I guess we'll put one like there. No, we need to back it up a little bit, right? Yeah, that one's not good. I mean, we don't need to practice this part. We'll do it some, you know, just to belie it. But we want it there, right? Yeah. Because, like, I'm okay at this, but I do want to practice it. Because here, you know, like that. When it goes to the diamonds, I sometimes choke, you know. Well, terrible. Hey, Cabra. Am I aware of the hitboxes in the mini-wave being very bad? Yes, I am. A couple of 100 times I've hit them. But after I learned, you know, what was up, because there were a couple of them where I was like, you know, outraged. Have you ever felt like that playing a game where you're like, no, I want to speak to the manager of this game. I want to appeal this decision. I don't want you to tell me that that's what's going on, right? Man, if I die there in a real run, that'll be pretty annoying. What an excellent place to have placed that checkpoint, though. You just immediately fall into the portal. And this is a good place to practice, right? Because I do die here a bit. And tightening that up will help a lot. Dying in a silly way here every now and then, I mean, that'll happen, but ideally... Yep, you're not supposed to input as you hit the portal. I did know that. I knew I wasn't supposed to die there. Or there. Blah. Yeah, like the first few times I died on the hitboxes in the mini wave, I was, you know, perplexed. And first, you know, like I could theoretically back up the tape, you know, and check out what had happened. I think I could do that, maybe, I don't know. I've never tried. You know, like after the fact, I definitely could go into the video. Oh, well, you know, you're supposed to jump there. No going. We're just doing practice here. This section's feeling, you know, fine, but everything feels fine. in the whole early part, right? There's not. I think just honestly, like this part right here, even though it's not tough, this one stresses me out because sometimes you'll just trip up there, and you have the UFO right after it to have to actually like think about. So it's like a little tense. The dual wave is not tough. I mean, the ship part after the dual wave isn't tough. It's only tough because your blood pressure gets all wonky with excitement, thinking maybe I'll finally be able to play a different level, but not today. Well, maybe today. No. Look, if I ever beat a level, I don't want to play another level after it again. I did that a couple of times early on, and it was fine with the early levels. But now, like, man, I forget which one it was, but I beat one, and then I started trying to find another level right after in the stream, and I really, like, ruined all of my good feelings about beating the level by bashing my head against the, you know, the ever-present failures that are the punctuation marks of playing Geometry Dash. For me, they are the whole alphabet of playing it. Happyville. Oh yeah, I'm reading some chat in the back. Yes, I've been trolled before. Yeah, Tidal Wave, real easy level. But thank you for your good luck wishes. In the Diamond Wave part, click a lot faster. I can try to. Really quick inputs are difficult to do. Oh, like so. Okay, yeah. Okay. Doesn't have to be that fast. Ah. Yeah, because the angles aren't clean. Happy Pill. Oh, thank you so much. You're very generous. I appreciate it. Ah. But no, no, someone sent me a Tidal Wave. It wasn't like immediately. Verdant Landscape was the demon that someone in my chat sent me to. You know, when I couldn't beat the third level of the game, that's where they sent me. You know, people like to have fun. But I have like you know, got the auto scroller of Tidal Wave and went through it, so I know what the level looks like, and you know, I know the lore a little bit. Terrible. It was just a bad angle. I could have just like safed it a different way. Good stuff. That's a fun place to die. Alright, we should probably push the checkpoint further up, because we don't need, you know, like, more practice here would benefit us, sure, but if we don't get some real attempts, and after all, like, that attempt was relatively close to finishing, and it would honestly kind of annoy me to nail a practice mode starting at 40%, right? We gotta get there. Ah, terrible. Is this going to be on my hardest? Yeah, absolutely. I've got 4 other demons. My hardest is Shiver. The other ones are Platinum Adventure and the Nightmare and Lightning Road. You know, they're anyway. What am I going for next? I'm not sure. You know, I've gotten like 100 recommendations, and I'm just gonna go through some of them and see what's appealing. I might actually go back and try to. So there's like a couple levels of the mainline ones I haven't beat, not the demons, but the other ones. I didn't beat Hexagon Force and Electrodynamics, and I also like gave up on Dash, and because I was annoyed with the mechanics, but I need to learn. I was like, just die there, that'll be fun. I have not seen Change of Scene, but that is a level that I have heard people give the recommendation of. Hello, 150 IQ player. There was something about Hexagon Force I didn't like. It might have been like a dual section or something. Sometimes, every time in a dual section, they're very difficult for me initially because I'm trying to focus on both things, and like I don't, often in a duel you can just look at one of them once you know which one is the important one, and then think about that path and exclude the other one. It's more about like collapsing what you're paying attention to, right? Okay. It's funny because like I could swear that I just wouldn't die on those wave parts, but I clearly would. Alright, so in spite of doing that upside down UFO thing several times in a row, I don't really believe we have it, right? But I'm gonna move the checkpoint up anyway to get some more practice with this later stuff, and then we'll back it up and do a little bit of the UFO stuff right before we start getting real attempts in. Because sadly, although I would love to play this for many hours, it won't be that long of a stream. Too much. The main game dude is like Clubstep. I was very discouraged by playing Clubstep. I quit the game for over a month after trying Clubstep, but I've only been playing for like 9 or 10 months, right? So quitting for a month is for a massive portion of my Geometry Dash time. But Clubstep was one of the levels that did it. I was just like, I'm never gonna beat this. There's no point in trying to get any better at this game. But I don't think that's true. I mean, what's the point of anything, right? Do I know my PC specs? Yes. I have a 14 series i9. I have a 4080 Super, 64 gigabytes of RAM. The RAM was a free upgrade from 32. I don't want you to think that I'm a person that thought I needed 64 RAM, but that's how much I have. My previous rig that I had for like 6 years was like a 8 series i7 with a 2070, so I definitely, after saving up for quite some time, got a beefier, more powerful thing this time around. And then I used it to play Minecraft on maximum default settings. No, not really. for the first several times that I was playing Minecraft, I didn't even turn up the render distance, so I was playing on this behemoth, and I couldn't even see 10 chunks away. Pretty funny stuff. I just, that's really amusing that I keep on dying there. I've done it like once before all of this on practice modes and stuff, and now I've done it like every time. Yeah, there we go. No, yeah, there we go. I'm like, isn't there a button? I'm not gonna die at the very end. I'm not gonna crash into that wall. It won't happen. Me saying that won't make it happen. I don't think the button will stick there. That would be very funny. Whoops. Yeah, I mean the wave's fine. We'll just push the checkpoint up a little bit more and start here, because this part, like, it's not hard, but that doesn't mean we won't mess it up, right? You just gotta, you know, be careful and not do that, basically. Because you can hit the bottom there, and then you just tap it a little bit, and then you just don't run into that, and it's all fine, right? Whoops. Okay, button got stuck? Yes. One day soon, I might do like a level request stream or whatever, but for right now, it's just this level. But just like as a general rule, I'm never gonna stop what I'm doing unless I say I want to stop what I'm doing. You can die there. I jumped into it, but I don't mind like the recommendations and stuff. But if I don't ask for them, I won't take them. Just that's like not like out of principle. It's like the way my brain works. Like I don't even entertain suggestions if I haven't asked for them. I don't want to discourage them. There's a bunch of people here potentially. Wow, that's so many people. Hello, all the people. So maybe they could check out the level. But I'm just playing this one. But sorry, I'm sure it's very cool. But We're not taking a break. No breaks, only practice. Plus, I haven't set up the whole start position switch thing or whatever, which I understand conceptually, but not the implementation exactly. And I haven't, like, looked into it. It can't be that complicated, but I haven't looked into it. So I am not inclined to take a break anyway, because then, I'd have to come back here for the practice, and that would be not desirable. Hey Valtrim, you say you're only going to be here a little bit? Well, welcome in all the same. Alright, re-chat for a second. Stat stuff. Yes. How many attempts do I have right now, Duffy? Like 6,700. Something like that. I don't know the exact number right now, so it would be like 6,700, 6,800. Not quite 7K yet. Alright, you can't go up until you hit the little, not ideal, not ideal. That was close. Not right there. A couple of zigs and zags ago. All right, decent. One more time with feeling. Anyway, later when someone's like, you should practice the end more while I'm choking at the beginning, if any of y'all are still here, just back me up that I did okay there, like 2 and almost 3 times in a row, right? They didn't believe me. They're like, practice the end. I'm like, no, it's the middle that I can't do. I just can't do all of the level at the same time. I can do all the parts. Anyway, we're gonna back it up a little bit here. More. Huh. Wow, that was weird. Timing on that death funny. Hey Sophia, thank you for the good luck wishes. I too hope I beat it soon. I've been here a while. I looked at it this morning. I've played Death Moon for more than 20 hours now, which is, it's fine. It's whatever. I would rather you ask if I would rather fight some abnormally sized bodybuilders or some abnormally sized babies. I would rather fight the bodybuilders because it does not present a moral question in the way that having to fight babies would. 100 baby-sized bodybuilders or 10 bodybuilder-sized babies. Yeah, because even a large baby is still a baby, and you have an inherent moral duty to not fight babies on account of them being babies. Whereas bodybuilders, regardless of their relative size, are likely to be much stronger than me. I'm sure a baby-sized bodybuilder would still be able to, jump high and, like do a sick spin move with weights. I don't know how they operate. I was more of a runner. Not like fast, but for enthusiasm. Sometimes I would just run. In high school, when I didn't want to lose weight, I would have like a big spoonful of white sugar and eat it and then go running. I also just loved to eat spoonfuls of white sugar back in those days. Look, I wasn't the person I am now. I couldn't afford as many donuts as I wanted. Like, I don't mean to brag, but if I wanted to have like 10 donuts a day, I could just buy them. I didn't understand that as a teenager, but like my donut related dreams, I didn't even understand how cheaply anything could be gotten when it comes to donuts. They're just so affordable. I crashed again. Redwood Steve, welcome back. You asked what you missed. I talked about the moral imperative to not fight babies, even if they're very, very muscly. And how it's okay to fight a legion of bodybuilders, even if they are baby-sized, because of their superior power to mine. So, I mean, like, honestly, rather more than you ever could miss in a normal day. It was provocative and... dare I say, a magnificent question, like a real thinker. But of course, having a solid baseline in moral philosophy will help you with these sorts of problems when you encounter giant, muscular infants on your travels, on the mythological road that brings you there. Oh, it's already 11:10. Yeah, we got to start getting some real attempts in, huh? So that I can die at 14% a lot. Hello. I'm in Arkansas, Froggy. You beat your buff version of Death Moon 150? Cool, man. Good for you. I have not beaten this default version. While you've been gone, I've been not beating it. Decent, right? I mean, you can't really argue with what? Where did we start there? 50 some odd? Yeah, noon 30, exactly. Yeah, so where was that checkpoint at? I mean, 59, but... No, noon 30, that's just a funny thing me and my friends say. I never said that growing up or whatever. Like two people I know say it, so I started saying it too. But in Arkansas, we think of ourselves as the South rather than the Midwest. And I don't speak for the state, more the people in it, but you know, I'm like, no, they made the sports conferences weird, so it doesn't even matter that we're in the SEC anymore. But yeah, it's we're a Southern state, not a Midwestern one. I sound like this on purpose, you know, like I decided when I was relatively young the way that I was going to talk. I still have like a proper Arkansan accent, which I can throw on for special occasions, like if I'm at a fish fry or if I sense that people are finding me tedious and prolix, I can sort of like throw it on and it'll be like, oh, this is a person who grew up milking goats, because that is of course true. It's not all library cards, you know, not for me. The goats don't speak with a southern accent. Mainly, they just look at you. Sometimes you have to stare back at them. What? You can die there? That's funny. Okay, so in conclusion, you can't skate there. You gotta go through it. But that would have been a harsh thing to learn, for real. That's funny. I literally didn't know you could do that. That's funny. It's super funny. You can skate there, but I wouldn't do the hitbox. Ah, I see. Yeah, there's a couple places in here where, you know, like you can skate, but if you skate too close, oh no, that won't work. All right, yeah, let's look at the tail of the tape. 6,940 attempts, 80,878 jumps. And, you know, maybe we'll be able to make it work. Let's go. Ah. Feels bad. Yeah, you hold at the beginning to get over the first jump without having to time it. Because it's actually, like, it's not hard, right? But it's a little precise. And also, sometimes the button on my controller sticks, and so it automatically is stuck jumping whenever I restart, which is great because you want it to be, but it's annoying because the button on my controller stuck again. But, you know, I try not to complain too much. I complain so much about it. Hello, Bob. Yeah, I play on a Xbox controller. I used to play on this old PS4 controller, but then it died and had the long electronic goodnight. So I got this one, which is fine for a bit, but you know, after 80,000 button presses on Death Moon in the last month or so, you know, the A button has certainly seen better days already. Oh, this bot person is very well known. Well, welcome. Good to have you here. Always cool. Yeah, I'm not that familiar with the names, so you know, I appreciate you pointing it out. I won't ask them what what they're good at in Geometry Dash. Probably a lot, but welcome. Nice to have you here. There's been a couple of times. One, I don't want to just like name drop them all the time, but one of my valued viewers is also a person that's relatively well known in the Geometry Dash community, I think. And it was before I figured out practice mode, and he just like made the little snippet of the map that I needed to practice because he knew it was stressing me out, and then he just like made the thing for me, and that was like, you know, that was a real gentleman move. And I didn't know at that point that he was, you know, like a person that streamed and stuff too, so it was pretty cool that he took the time out for that. I feel like I'm always bringing it up, but you know, it's pretty cool. Hello WJ, hello Origami. Ah, terrible. Yeah, Rushfall, you say I'm playing a kid's game? I mean, like, not really, dude. This game, I mean, I guess technically it's probably popular with people that, you know, are younger, but this is a hard game, right? Like, whenever I look at the expertise that's required to learn these maps, I mean, I'm bad at it, but it's still not easy, you know? Like, there's a ton of memorization and, like, expertise, but, like, I would agree with you though that it's a kids game, but here's why. Kids are better at video games than adults are. Look, I'm not going to be like I was so good as a kid, but there's a lot of stuff I was better at than I am now. Like, it had to be explained to me that other people couldn't, you know, beat Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3 on the Super Nintendo. I mean, like, they were hard, sure, but I could do it. You know, like, I beat Contra when I was a kid. I probably couldn't do that anymore. Hey, G13. Hey Kiki, you say I'm having a lot of viewers lately. Yes, it's quite perplexing, but also very nice. Button got stuck. Yeah, Kiki. Yeah, I played Death Moon for probably what, like 6 hours or so yesterday, and by my standards, it was a fantastically successful stream. There were so many people that stopped in and had a good time, and you know, decided to think about coming back, and I'm very grateful for all of that. It feels very cool. But I'm glad that me not beating this level can be of interest to other people, as it is of interest to me, because trying and failing to accomplish something is its own reward, right? It's not as good of a reward as accomplishing it, but there's, like, in the struggle against futility, like, that's one of the places you can find enlightenment. And I actually, whenever I'm not, like, being discouraged by Geometry Dash, I think it makes me, like, a psychologically stronger person, right? Like, I've been discouraged with this wonderful game, Celeste, that I'd been playing for the first time also this past year. Terrible. Got stuck. But, and then I picked up Geometry Dash whenever I became frustrated with it. And, like, the constant failure in Geometry Dash sort of, like, insulated with me against failure and, like, armored me against it, right? And then I could go back to Celeste Mountain and try again, which Celeste is a very beautiful game, so I was glad of that. Because plenty of people would have given up by now. They would have said, look, maybe 100 times. I'm not going to fail at anything 7,000 times. But I haven't. It's only like 6,940 times. Maybe it won't be 7,000. And, that's that uncertainty, that's what it's all about, right? If I knew I was going to win this run, then I could just exit the game now. But I probably won't win, and that makes it interesting. Oh man, are you joking? Terrible. Should have just feathered the wave a little bit longer there and it would have been fine. Blah. Can you say Bouncy's main channel has 600k subs? You're joking. I did not know that. I guess I only checked out like his secondary channel. Wow, okay. Not just a little bit known then. Okay. Well, a very cool person and super helpful to me in my Geometry Dash journey. Now I know why people are always recognizing them when they're in this stream. All right. Terrible. Yeah, it might distract me. Lowering my attention level is impossible. It is already in the Marianas Trench all of the time. And furthermore, I refuse to change. Look, I gotta pay attention all day at work. Here, we're just letting the crystal guide us to failure, apparently. Poor Sir Cream Blockington. He suffers. Oh, how he suffers for my incompetence. Do I like this level? Yeah, this level's great. I think I like Shiver better just because I like the blue color palette of Shiver like a ton. Aesthetically, I adore Shiver. I think it's I saw it. I saw that the angle was bad as we were falling in that tower, but you know, there's no way to correct it. But yeah, no, I think this level is very nice. The reasons it was recommended to me are still nice. You know, the sight readability, the 1.9, yeah, 1.9. So like, you know, a bunch of the newfangled contraptions that annoyed me weren't present in it, because this was the first level I picked back up. I took a little like month or so hiatus. Just playing some other stuff. There you go, the old mini wave hitbox. This level's also much older than Shiver, yeah, because Shiver had like, you know, the spider in it. But it also had like, you know, vision obscuring elements that came in front of you and stuff, which I believe may have been later. And then, you know, it had access to a whole bunch of other, you know, innovations from what I understand. But yeah, as it was explained to me, this level is beloved in the community because it sort of represents the pinnacle of what was possible for this style of map at the time, with you know, with the various like concepts, you know, strung together, and that it's highly regarded for those reasons. Death Moon would be 10 years old month. Yeah, man. I look sometimes and I'm like 40 million downloads, right? It was 40 million some odd for Death Moon, and it's just like, it's so many. But like, I mean, there's so many people here right now. Like, you know, normally I'm streaming to many less people even than this, you know, in the 20s. So like, the idea of making something and having like, I mean, sure, maybe multiple people download or the same person downloaded multiple times, but still like tens of millions of people to be reached by your creation, like that's so cool. And then, you know, like, he couldn't have known that a particularly long-winded fellow would get a hold of it and then fail to beat it 7,000 times 10 years later, you know. And of course, if that sounds rather like I'm making myself the centerpiece of my story, it's an alarming habit. You'll notice it a lot. Whenever I think of the universe, I think, how did it conspire to get me here so I can play video games inside of it? Other people are concerned with other aspects of the universe, and that makes sense to me too. But for me, it's really, how did it lead me to this moment where I'm failing at Death Moon? And it's all arrayed out beautifully in front of me. So good work, Caustic. I'm one of the happy 40 million. Cosmic, you say, what, am I going to beat it soon? Probably not. Big Sucker Boy, you ask my hardest. It is Shiver. Oh, he now goes by a different name. That makes sense. You know, a lot of, especially if you pick a handle when you're younger, you know, you can get something that, you know, maybe has, you know, connotations you don't like. Because Caustic is like a sick name, right? That's awesome, very heavy metal. But it also, you know, has the connotation of being, you know, sort of acerbic and unpleasant, or of being literally caustic and, you know, like chemically degrading other things, you know, like, and sometimes you don't want to carry a name like that around. I can't speak for them. I don't know them or anything, but I could see how a name like that, maybe eventually you would want to abandon it. There's this folk punk band that goes by AJJ now. Their old name, it's like, it's not like mega offensive. It's a little offensive. But the same sort of thing, you know. They realized, man, I really wish we didn't choose that name for ourselves. So now they just go by the initials. Ah, bad. What shirt am I wearing? Probably Misfits. Yeah, Misfits. This shirt was a gift, a very thoughtful one. I was just like, I was at work and I was closing the restaurant and I was just, you know, chatting it up with the guy I was closing with and, you know, talking about old heartbreaks and, you know, things you lose and breakups and stuff like that and splitting up records and that kind of thing. And I'm like, and I told her she could take everything she wanted and she even took my Misfits t-shirt. And he's like, oh, that's too bad, man. That's rough. And then this dude bought me a Misfit shirt, and that's this shirt here. I still have it. I mean, this wasn't like ages ago that it happened. It was just probably like a year or two ago, but a very, very cool move. And cagey on his part because, you know, shortly afterward, I started learning how to make delicious cookies and peanut butter fudge and bread and stuff. And, you know, whenever I wear this Misfit shirt, I think I should probably give that guy a piece of fudge whenever I make some. Ah, bad, 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 bad. Thank you for the good luck wishes, 150 IQ. Hello, Remnitios. Hello, Zigzag. You know, the 7,000 attempts don't count because at least 1,000 of them are just dying at the very beginning. Hello, Felixson. Orange Frog, you say, I don't think I realize how chill I am to the Geometry Dash community. Well, I probably don't. I don't really, you know, I don't watch any Geometry Dash stuff, really. I did check out a couple of Bouncy's things because, you know, people were like, hey, he's playing the thing, and then I saw that he beat Sonic Moon. Not Sonic Moon, Sonic Wave. And stuff, but, like, I'm not, you know, I'm not that familiar, because I didn't watch anything about the game. A couple cheating, not speedrun documentaries, cheating documentaries. But anyway, not going to go into that. I always accidentally start talking about interesting things that I don't want to get into. But so I knew that Geometry Dash existed and that there was like an upper level scene for it and stuff. But I had never watched anybody play it in real life or anything even. But I could see that people might get pretty mad at a game like this. Look, I get mad all the time. I've been kindly described by people as a nice guy with anger issues, but they were being deceitful. I'm like an angry person with anger issues. But like, the way you'll hear me say it is, you guys are only seeing me at my best. Like, I love playing video games. I like listening to fun music, and I like sitting in my room where there's air conditioning and or heating. Like, this is what I want to do all the time. So the fact that I'm, like, not winning at a video game is fine. It's not like a person doing it to me, it's just me. If I was playing, like, a multiplayer game and people could, like, be rude to me or, like, say something. I mean, sure, like, the chat could theoretically be rude, but I would just, you know, not notice. Don't take that as a challenge. I was joking. But something like this where, you know, the difficulty, everyone's different, right? So everyone will find something hard or easy, but I'm not competing with other people, you know, only with myself to build expertise and maybe eventually compete the Sisyphean struggle that I find myself in. And as a person that very much likes the myth of Sisyphus, I agree that we must imagine Sisyphus happy, and it is no discouragement at all for me to just mess up, right? I've messed up on this map a couple thousand times. It'll be all right. After all, if I beat it, then I have to learn a new map. And so much of my brain is just carrying right now the information of every object in this level. Not in a way that'll let me not hit them, but in a different way. Oh, are you joking? Terrible, terrible, terrible. Bad angle. Yeah, very calm, very calm. You'll get a lot of outbursts like that. Hey, Rising Angel. Yes, indeed. Welcome back to Death Moon, indeed. My favorite game mode? Probably Ball. I really like Ball a lot. But I also, I like the Spider a bunch too, although I can see that it would be super annoying, potentially, but yeah. Wave's pretty good. I feel like I'm alright with Wave. Not good, but like alright. All right. Terrible, terrible. Let's just not hit the button. That's what's hot on the streets right now. We're just gonna sit around and do our taxes and not hit the button. Okay, that's fine too. The hitbox there. I was on the way down already, but the hitbox was weird. I saw there the little zig of green. It says that I was on the line, just bad. Ah. Nope. All right. Okay, sure. Seems fair. That 52% diamond, man, it'll get me. It gets me a bunch. How long have I been playing Geometry Rescue Koenig? Since like September or October of last year. Ah, bad. Right around 100 total hours, is what Steam says. At least some of those are, you know, spent in menus or complaining. Dr. Whoosh, you ask if I see myself beating an extreme demon one day. Oh, I doubt it. I doubt it. I've seen a handful of them, and I never have seen one and thought, I could do a portion of that, let alone, like, seeing myself ever be able to do it. You have 856 hours in it, Kiki? Well, you know, that is a bunch. I've got a couple games with more hours than that, but not tons. Blizzard won't actually tell me how much hours I've spent on World of Warcraft. They know, but there's no place in my Blizzard account to say, hey, by the way, how much money have I paid you and how long have I been playing games with you? They know, but they won't tell me. More than a human year of my life, though. Like a whole human year. That's 24/7, 365 of my life, at least, playing World of Warcraft. And I regret nothing. I mean, I regret plenty of things. Not playing WoW, though. Just because the game's not very good and not very fun doesn't mean I didn't have a great time. Look, one important thing you can learn in life, which I learned from World of Warcraft, is that you can love something even if it's deeply flawed and bad for you. Hey, Natasha. But in Steam, my most played game is called Mount & Blade Warband, which is actually what my YouTube channel started out as. like 11-ish years ago, like a little under 11. But I just did. There's a mod for it. It's called A Clash of Kings, based on the Game of Thrones universe, and that's the only thing I did on YouTube for several hundred videos, was just play that and talk to myself while I did it. I crashed again. What's the progress now? Oh, we did some. Oh right, I didn't change the name of the thing. Anyway, isn't that just like me? Anyway, we have the same title as when I was doing practice mode for 40 minutes. Anyway, these are real attempts now. But yeah, Natasha, we did some practice for some of the later segments and got like several good ones, you know, a whole bunch, couple handfuls of things that would have ended up as a completion, but haven't gotten really far at all yet, I wouldn't say. We haven't even got to like the mini wave. No, the dual wave rather. Ah! Keep up on messing this up. Orange Froggy, I am 38. And I do not mind you asking. But I do insist that you not ask, not that anybody was, but you know, no asking other people in the chat how old they are or anything, but I don't mind if people ask me. As I think YouTube says to everyone when you join a stream, you know, guard your personal information. The internet is a scary place. And guard your personal information. Very important, good advice. And if you're like definitely old enough to just ignore that, then, you know, go off. Sometimes somebody will show up, like I was playing Oblivion and this person's like, I'm 60, and I'm like, I didn't know people the age of my parents watched YouTube videos, but I guess I get a similar comment to that from people in chat that are like, I didn't know people my parents' age played Geometry Dash. Hey, Cruel. Hey, Chucky. Yeah, yesterday I was less than 1,000 subs. Things just fly by, right? Ah, crashed. Yeah, well, the EVW guy that people are always bringing up is probably way better at games than I am. No, I've always thought of myself as like pretty good at games, but like, not in a way that matters anymore. I was good at picking up a game and figuring out how to play it by playing it, right? I would play fighting games and I would just, you know, like figure out stuff that would demolish my friends and family members. But now, you know, it's like that South Park episode where their gaming club gets infiltrated by a bunch of very nice people who are better at playing games than they are because they learn the rules and, you know, do the research. Rising Angel, you say Grand Theft Auto 6 is in May of next year? Well, it might be. They did promise that. I didn't play 5, or 4, or Vice City, or 3, or San Andreas, really. I played them, you know, like a bit, like at the very beginning, just walking around stealing cars, but I didn't really play them. I did play the first one. Well, I played the demo on PC a whole lot. I didn't have the full game. I used to play it all the time. I burnt it onto a CD. I'm old. I burnt it onto a CD and took it to the computer lab in school and played it whenever I was supposed to be learning how to type. I already knew how to type. All right. Ah, terrible. Signal Boy, oh, thank you very much for your generous donation. This is a round attempt 7020, and I use an Xbox controller. But yeah, this is my, if I beat it, this will be my 5th demon. But I've beaten Nightmare, Lightning Road, Platinum Adventures, and my hardest is Shiver. Yeah, I'm not very good. It is a lot of attempts for Death Moon, but you know, what are you gonna do? Beat it eventually? Maybe. Maybe. Someone asked how many subs I would need to get before I went into content creation full time. That's really just a daydream to me at this point. As soon as it became viable, if it was ever a thing that I could pursue, I would want to do it. But I don't it's just a daydream, right? It's I can't even really properly imagine it. Ah, terrible, terrible. WJ, wow, thank you for your generous donation. You say you got it. We all love to see you keep on at it. Well, thank you very much. You know, it's in large part thanks to all of your support, you know. Like I've said a few times in these videos, if it weren't for people watching and cheering me on, I would have quit before I beat Jumper. I would have quit before I beat Can't Let Go, probably, right? You know? Nook, you ask what I do for work. I'm a cook. I'm a line cook at a steakhouse. But I mean, I already stream like 20, 25 hours a week, probably. Maybe more than that. It just depends on the week, you know, so. Just they're not at ideal times. I also don't know anything about anything. Like, I've never edited a video. I'd probably have to learn how to do that. You ask if I'm the one who always hosts cooking events for friends and family. No. Well, I only started like learning how to like cook and bake properly, like at home, like 2 years ago, right? Like I never made cookies besides like whenever I was a child until, you know, a couple years back. But I flatter myself that I make excellent, technically perfect chocolate chip cookies now. I don't make very many kinds of cookies, but I have made a few hundred batches of chocolate chip cookies, and they are, when done as they normally are, perfect and without flaw, although I say so myself. But no, I'm not really the one who does it for family events. I am usually the person who makes the dessert beforehand, gets anxiety, sends the dessert, and then lays in bed all day instead of going to the event. but it can go any way, you know. It can go lots of different directions. No, I have a big family, and I have several family members that are much more accomplished cooks than I am. Although they don't do it for a living, they you know, they've been at it for a long time. I crashed. Ancient GD, thank you very much for your generous donation. It does not have a message, so within the blank text, I imagine that it will say, "You're doing great. You probably will beat it before you try 7,000 more times." Probably. With 3 dots after probably. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm sure that you wouldn't put the 3 dots there. I would put them before probably. That way, you know, the indecision wouldn't be the last thing that we're left with. Ah, I crashed. Terrible. Yeah, definitely if I do it 7,000 more times, we'll get it. Adam, you say you got the next old geezer to make Geometry Dash content? Well, thanks, man. You know, it is wild how much people are watching this. I'm not really used to it. I don't know if I'll ever be used to it. It's you know, it's quite a unique feeling. Normally, you know, like when I'm streaming for, you know, like a handful of people max, often I'll just be playing a game and no one's watching at all. But I'm glad you are all here. It feels very cool. I'm glad you can share in my failure, my repeated failure. But hey, you know, I'm not necessarily gonna not win. I could win. Could win right now. I mean, not right now. It's not over yet. But I could. At any moment, I could just slide on in here and do a little 1-2 bouncy thing. I could. All right. All right. Okay, let's go. All right. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right. Just go straight through. Just go straight through. Remember your training. And I think they call that calling your shot. Ah, yes! You were all here. Wonderful. Wonderful. And just on time for midnight, guys. How fortuitous! What an auspicious event. Not bad, it says. Not bad. Are you joking, game? Not bad. Look at the tail of the tape. 7,035 attempts. 100% complete. My dog is all excited. Hooray! WJ, thank you for your generous donation in celebration of it. Look at stat in the main menu. Where? Anyway. I don't know where. Ah, the bars. Yes. There you go. 300,007 total jumps. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. So, that's the 5th demon ever. How wonderful. What a nice time. Look at the little check mark. That's nice, right? That's super nice. Yeah. Yeah, all right. Cool. Cool. Well, but yeah, 28,000 attempts, a full 1/4 of them spent on Death Moon. But now we never have to do that again. Natasha, you say I was good enough to live off of these? You say, maybe. You say I should edit that one down and upload it. Q. You know, I should learn to edit things. I mean, it's just seeing that little bar. That's a lot better. That's a lot better. It's a lot better than it was before. I think that was the run where I was saying that I could just beat it, right? I mean, I know I say that a lot, so it's not like... good stuff. But anyway, yeah, it's time for me to go to bed. Or rather, to end the stream. It's midnight anyway, and by long-standing personal decree, I'm not trying to play a new level after I beat a level like that. Big Bicycle Boy, you ask if there's a reason why I use the default icons or I just like them. I changed it slightly. The mouth is very slightly higher, I think. At the beginning, when I started playing before I played at all, I wanted to change the icon to be black because it's my favorite color, right? And then it wouldn't let me. I hadn't unlocked the color, so then I became attached to Sir Green Blockington, and now he's just wait, no, we don't want to go back in here. We never have to go back. But good night, everyone. Good night, Natasha. Good night, Kiki. Thank you, everyone who stopped in and gave your support through all of this. Feels wonderful. Am I going to do a new level soon, Orange Froggy? Yeah, probably. We'll probably pick something up. We might do the next stream as just like a level suggestion stream, and maybe do like 10 or 15 minutes of levels, and then sort of like do the little grab bag there, and then see what we want to go out of that. That could be a nice little celebration. Because people have been, wanting me to play more things, and that could be good before I start crunching in on one specific level to go to. But thank you, everyone. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have a good day. Probably won't stream Geometry Dash tomorrow. I wasn't going to do it tonight, but it ended up being great because I was in a good mood after work, and I figured we would just do it. But, yeah, good night, everyone. It feels so good. Feels so good. Now I'll have to learn a new level. But see you guys.